Welcome back to another Woolly Wednesday. I'm Cindra Kerscher, Program Coordinator for the Livestock Conservancy and the Shave 'em to Save 'em initiative, which is a program to raise awareness for and encourage the use of wool and hair from the 23 endangered breeds of sheep on the Livestock Conservancy's conservation priority list. My special guest today is no stranger to heritage wool herself. She is a shepherdess, fiber artist, businesswoman, and creator of Bear Creek Felting, an online store, resource, and academy of needle felting. Welcome, Teresa Perleberg.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Delighted. Thank you for joining us today to talk about your felting passion. Many of the fiber artists in our Shave 'em to Save 'em community have expressed an interest in learning a bit about needle felting, either as complete beginners or learning to needle felt with these rare breeds. So when someone mentioned your name to me not too long ago, actually, I fell down a bit of a rabbit hole. And when I saw all the felting pictures on your website, I knew you were the gal to teach this class for us. So I do want to share, before I let Teresa talk about herself, I want to share this photo so you all understand why I was so excited to have Teresa join us today. Give me a quick second and I will share this screen. Share. All right, this is Teresa's work. And actually, Teresa, if you would like to talk about any of these photos while I scroll through, I'm kind of curious about that one in the top center. Is that a Highland cattle?
It is. Yeah, it's made with Romney wool, and then the longer hairs are made with Surrey alpaca.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm. And you can learn how to make that in my academy. The one there in the middle, I had somebody make the clay antlers for me, so it works quite perfect with the deer that I made.
I was wondering if they were, a couple of us were kind of trying to guess whether those were wool or they were wood, or it's beautiful. He's just gorgeous. Yeah. All of these are really cool. The elephants I love.
Oh, thank you. The elephants are some of my favorites to make.
Are they hard?
They can be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little more advanced.
A little more detail, a little more time involved there.
Mm-hmm. What I like, go ahead.
The Bear Creek bunnies, I started making after a long winter. Then they wear the little dresses because it had been such a long winter and I couldn't wait to see some color. So I added dresses to the animals.
She's super cute. And I love the fact that you have not only very lifelike felted animals, but then you also have the whimsy as well, like the snowman and the bunny in the dress. And And is this guy on the left, is this a longhorn or a piney woods? What did you model that after?
A longhorn.
Longhorn?
Yeah.
That's amazing, all those spots. Such a great job. And the moose, and the zebra, just gorgeous. Very, very beautiful. Okay, let me stop sharing and let's find out a little bit more about Teresa. Now I'm going to let you go take up the whole page here so folks can see you. So tell us, what came first for you, wool or sheep?
The wool came first. My daughter wanted to learn how to knit, and so I learned how to knit so I could teach her. And so we kind of learned together. And my aunt had always raised wool, either with bunnies or sheep or all sorts of animals. And she worked with that wool and spun it into yarn. And we had learned all that from her. And for my daughter's 8th birthday, she asked for a lamb. So that's when the sheep came, because we wanted to learn how to do more things with wool yarn and with wool. And so she got 2 lambs for her birthday. And then I also got 2 lambs. And now that has grown into 270 in our
home. Wow. That's a big, big flock. And are those all one breed? Tell me what you're raising.
We mostly have Romney wool, Romney sheep, and we introduced some blue-faced Leicester. We have some Wensleydale crosses in there. Then we added some Cormo. We also have Corriedale, and then most recently CVM.
Wow. It's quite the spinner's flock.
Yes.
Yeah. And so I think you're sitting in your new office. I could be I could be guessing that, but
this is my new office.
Okay, it's beautiful from what I can see. And so tell us a little about Nome Schoolhouse, because you are processing all of that fiber in your new facility, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So how it all started, I had Chris at Dakota Fiber Mill. She processed my wool for years, and she was living by Kindred, North Dakota, and I would just drive by on my way to Fargo and drop off my fiber to have it processed. And we worked together to develop a wool needle felting cushion. And we decided that we worked very well together and that we could do a lot for fiber arts if we were to partner our businesses. And we were looking for a place to house these businesses. And we also, I had heard over the years that people would love to come to my farm and experience what I share on social media, meet the sheep that provide the wool that I put into my kits. And so we decided that we would like to have a fiber arts center where people could come and enjoy all of those things, meet the animals and see how the fiber is processed, see everything from sheep to the finished product, and have a place to stay and learn about the fiber arts. And so that's where the Nome Schoolhouse came in. We found a 100-year-old school building that it had sat empty for 50 years. And it had all the beautiful character, woodwork. It had everything that would make this a wonderful destination for a fiber arts center and makers. And so we started renovating it in the fall of 2018, and we just finished in July of 2021.
Oh, wow. So you guys just opened. That's awesome. I'm going to share the link here because anybody who's watching this, I want you to follow this link. First of all, Teresa and Chris, they videography, if I'm using the right term, they have video documented, let's put it that way, the renovation process. And it's amazing what they turned. I mean, the building was gorgeous to begin with, even in disrepair, but what you turned it into is just lovely. Very, very lovely. I wish it were closer.
We have rooms, 11 guest rooms where you can come and stay. We have a chef on site that cooks for retreats. So you can host a retreat here. You can come to a retreat here. We'll also have the animals on site, and we plan on having a variety of the fiber animals so that you can learn about those. And we also will pick you up at the airport.
Oh, that's a nice little service. Very nice. It's got to be exciting, and it's got to be also very hectic. I mean, renovating anything is hectic, but now that it's actually live and you're having events, it's got to be fun.
It is. It's been very rewarding.
Yeah. So let me, I also want to share, because we both briefly mentioned your academy. I'm going to share this again, and then I want to talk about felting and how you got started and why it interests you. What was your passion? Okay, here we are on bearcreekfelting.com, Teresa Perleberg Needle Felting Academy.
So I started making kits and I started selling them online, and I wrote the instructions for all these kits, and they were all designed for beginners. I still have them where I sell, and you have everything that you need to complete a project. And then I had those that would complete the kits and they wanted something a little more advanced, or they were asking for video courses. So I put together the academy, and you can join the academy and you have access to all the video courses, and they're from beginner to advanced, and you get to ask me questions. You can watch the videos at any pace you'd like to, stop, rewind, go back. And there's also within the academy, you can talk to the other members. So, and we also have a Facebook page, a Facebook group where you can talk with the other members and share pictures and encourage each other and inspire each other. And it's been a lot of fun.
It sounds fun, and it sounds like a nice community to learn with. Sometimes when I'm learning something new, I need to have somebody else to struggle with me for the beginning.
Yes.
So was it your daughter that got into felting first, or you?
It was my daughter.
Yeah.
The lady that we bought our first Romney sheep from for her birthday, for my daughter's birthday, she invited us to a spinning guild that she was a member of. And so me and my daughter went, and at that first meeting, and these ladies all raise sheep, or they all work with the fiber arts in many different ways. And as I was learning how to spin that day, Jan taught my daughter how to needle felt, and she gave her all the stuff that she needed. And so when we went home that night and Libby went to bed, that's my daughter, I picked up her stuff and started playing around with it. And I didn't know that I never knew that I had any talent for sculpture until I started playing with wool. And it was just really relaxing for me. I loved it, and found out it was the medium that I needed to be able to create sculptures. And I never stopped felting.
Very cool. Very cool. Now, your daughter, is she an avid felter like you, or have you kind of bypassed her interest?
She's a little competitive with me, but now she has started needle felting birds, but she embellishes them with other things like buttons and other different things. And so she does it a little different than I do, which is kind of fun. But she's really taken off with knitting and does an amazing job with knitting. So
good for her. Good for her. Well, get her a passport.
Yes.
SD2. All right. Well, I did kind of flash it accidentally earlier, but Teresa and I, we're not just here to chit chat today. We are here for a special announcement. We are running another fiber challenge, Shave 'em to Save 'em Fiber Challenge. This is a 2-week challenge coming up the last 2 Wednesdays in September, the 22nd and the 29th. And Teresa is going to be teaching us how to felt a little woolly buddy. So let me share this real quick. It's called the Felted Friends Challenge, and you can sign up. Let me go back to StreamYard on our Facebook page. Fastest way to get there is rarewool.org, and then there's a Felted Friends link. But there's also this very lengthy link right here, livestockconservancy.org. Teresa has made a kit for us, and I realize I don't have a link to the kit in my little sidebar. However, when you sign up for the course through the Livestock Conservancy's website, you'll receive a confirmation email, and the course itself is only $14, so it's very reasonable. But in the confirmation email, there's actually a link to Teresa's website, Bear Creek Felting, a direct link to order the kit. And that kit is $22. And Teresa, tell us what is in the kit.
So the main wool that's in the kit is the CVM, and then the curly wool that we'll be covering the sheep with is Teeswater.
Okay.
And that CVM is from my own flock, and we process it right here at our fiber mill in the basement of the Nome Schoolhouse.
Nice. And there's a few other supplies in there too, right? Like
you'll get the needles that you need and the cushion, which is the surface that you work on. There's little glass eyes that we'll be putting into the sheep, and there's just a little bit of black wool that we'll be using for their faces.
So that's it. Yeah, super cute.
And you have a choice of this color or this color.
Yep, exactly. Or you could order one of each.
And some have already.
Those are super cute. So let's see, what else do we need to tell you about the challenge? The kit is optional, although the kit is fantastic because it has all the supplies you need except for a pair of scissors and maybe a sewing needle. Everything else is right in there. But if you've got fiber in your stash already that's, not CVM or not Teeswater, but still part of the Shave 'em to Save 'em breeds, you're more than welcome to play with that as well. Or you can do both, which would be very fun too.
Yes.
So that is Wednesday evenings, September 22nd and September 29th, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's see, is there anything else we need to say about that?
The sheep, I've done the sheep class many times, and everybody always leaves very happy with their finished sheep. It's very forgiving because you cover up. I mean, especially if you're just a beginner and you are just learning how to make a ball, we're basically making 2 balls and putting them together. And then we cover up anything with the curly wool. So they always look adorable.
Well, I would think if we weren't that great at making a perfect little ball, the fact that the actual fleece is curly will help disguise any of our little rumpled areas if we don't get it precisely round. That's what I like about that fiber. All right. Well, I can't wait because I'm going to make one of these. And Brittany Sweeney, our communications manager, has ordered Teresa's kit. She's going to make one. She ordered one of the gray ones. So you guys feel free to sign up and join us. Now, remember, for every challenge, we create a Facebook group. So there is a new Facebook group that's already set up for the Felted Friends Challenge. And in that confirmation email, when you sign up for the challenge, there's also a link to request access to the group. And inside the group, again, there's a link to order Teresa's. I'm not going to let you get lost and not find a link to the kit. There's also a link to order the kit in the Facebook group and a supplies list, photo of the little sheep, bio about Teresa and Bear Creek felting, all kinds of good stuff's already in there for you. So, oh, and of course, these are live, so you know that you can bring your questions about needle felting. And Teresa will be happy to answer them for you.
Yes.
I'm super excited. Thank you so much for coming today to make this announcement and say hello to our community. And we'll see you again in a couple of weeks.
I'm looking forward to it.
Thanks, Teresa.
Yes.